Hello everyone, it's Conan Gamester here with your beginner's guide to Conan Exiles 2021. And in today's guide, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about thralls. How to get one, what to feed them, how to set them up, and what they can and can't do for you. So to get started, the first thing you're going to need is some gruel. Now you need that because that's going to be a fuel for your Wheel of Pain. So to make that, you just need to open up your campfire. You need to put some plant fiber in there and some seeds. And then don't forget to hit your L2 button to start the fire, and it'll start making gruel for you. So once you've done that, and you know where you're going to get your thrall, you want to place your Wheel of Pain. Now I like to go up here. There's a big Dafari camp up here, and there's a couple of Dafari either fighters or archers up here alone, and they're pretty easy to take on one-on-one when you're knocking them out. And I don't like to place the Wheel of Pain too far away, but you can drag them quite a ways. I could drag them all the way back to my base if I wanted to, but I want to place it right about here. So let's get our Wheel of Pain, put it in our short bar here, and we're going to place this. And how about right there? Looks good. Now once you have that placed, you want to open it up and you want to set your gruel in there. And your gruel again is your fuel. So we're all set for our thrall. Now all we need to do is get our truncheon out and our shield. And we're going to slowly walk over here. Now there's either a fighter or an archer here. And where is he? There he is, right there. And like I said, once he sees me, I'll know what he is. And he looks like he's an archer. Okay. Now the problem with archers is they're just as good as a fighter for your first thrall. But as I approach him, he's going to back up. And I don't want him to back up where he's going to alert other Dafaris. So we're just going to get right up and we're going to lock onto him. Now as you can see that little light blue bar above his head, above his health bar, when that is gone, he'll be knocked out. So he's got just a little bit more to go. One more whack and he's unconscious. So now that he's knocked out, we want to equip our fiber bindings and hit our square button, and now we can drag him anywhere we want to. Now a level 1 is just fine for this early game. That's all you really need, because he's just going to help you carry things and take down small animals at first. So we're going to open up our Wheel of Pain, and when we do, you can see it automatically puts him in there. And what you want to do now is make sure you hit your L2 button. That starts the wheel going. Now if you notice, he's actually moving that wheel around, but if I forget to hit that, he's not moving. So if you see that he's not moving, you'll know you haven't started this yet, and you need to do that or he won't be tamed. So if we look at the crafting section on the right hand side, you can see it takes gruel plus a thrall to equal a tame thrall. It tells you your fuel burn time, etc. Then way down on the bottom you'll see crafting cache. Now this small lesser Wheel of Pain will only tame one thrall at a time, and that's why it's relatively cheap to make. And if you'll notice the icon on the bottom where it says crafting cache, you'll see a archer's bow, and you can see there's a little white dot starting there on that bar right underneath that bow, and that is how far he's been tamed so far. So it's going to take a little bit for him to get tamed. Might take the rest of the day or so for that. But I already have a thrall over here so that we can explore further what these thralls do. And he's just over here, just waiting for me. Might as well get a drink while I'm in here, and some food. Now this is a level 1 Dafari that I have. And what you want to do is go up to him and hit your square button, and that'll bring up his whole menu. Now we want to scroll over to the center panel here, and right at the very top you can name him. You can name him anything you want. So we're gonna name him, let's see, how about Duke? Duke sounds good. So this is Duke. And as you can see, Duke is at level 0, and it's going to take 1,225 experience points to get him to the first level. Now, as long as he is following me, he will level up, which is a very nice feature, because no matter who does the killing, he's going to get the experience points as well. And then underneath that, you'll see his health points, which is 390. Which is not bad for a level 1 beginning game. Now his weapon is a Dafari sword, and I recommend you leave that on him. It's even better than mine, but you still want him to have the better sword for now. And then his armor penetration is 7%, and the weapon will cause cripple, which is great. Now the next item down on the bottom of this panel is diet. Now I cannot scroll down there and highlight those, and to look at them you don't know what they do, and they do give bonuses depending on what you feed him, and this coincides with your attributes. So the first one that you see will give him strength, the second one agility, the third one vitality, the fourth one accuracy, it skips grit and encumbrance, and the last one is survival. So I usually like my Thrall to have strength. So if you'll notice, the very first item is cooked pork, but the one underneath it is gruel. Now gruel's very easy to get, and I do want him to get his bonus in strength, so that's what I'm going to feed him. Now I'm going to give him this 13 that I happen to have on me, and you can see already he's eaten 1. So, and the next thing you want to do is give him the armor that you got, the free armor. So all you have to do is hit your X button when you highlight that. So let's give him the tacit and the boots and the gauntlets. So now he has an armor protection of 111, which is pretty good. You want him to always have as good as you do, because your Thrall is going to be very important to you. And if you spend a lot of time leveling them up, you want to make sure they're well protected. So yeah, always put good weapons and armor on them to protect them. Now the next thing we want to look at is, if you press down on your square button while you're pointing at him, we can check his stats. We can tell him to move and guard. So I can place him here if I want, and he will stay there and guard. I can tell him to follow me. I can break bond with him, and if I do that, that means he goes away. I've set him free basically, and he can go wherever. This is, I can open his inventory so I can see what he has. This is his behavior, and this is his stats. So we're going to look at his stats first. Now in this panel, you can see in the top left hand corner, it says increased strength, increases damage by 10%. And then underneath that is attributes, and this again coincides with his food that you feed him. So he has 0 in strength, he has 2 in agility, he has 0 in vitality, 0 in accuracy, and 3 in survival. Now this is going to be a pretty good Thrall, and how I can tell that is because in his strength you can see that he's his growth chance in strength is 64%. Plus the gruel that I fed him will give him an extra 14% on top of that. So every time he gets damaged and eats gruel, his chance of growing in strength is going to be the combination of 64 and 14%. His agility is 48. His vitality, again, is very good. It's 64%. And his accuracy is 48, which I don't mind because he's not going to be an archer. He's going to be a fighter. And then his survival is 95%, which is excellent. Now, survival for a thrall, and of course yourself, is the food that you consume will heal you faster. So if he has a high survival percentage growth rate, chance, that means he will advance in survival, and he will heal faster when he's damaged. Yeah, very, very good. Now, his attribute bonuses right now is only agility, armor bonus, and then a survival buff time reduction bonus. He has bonuses in that, but that's it. Now, you notice underneath his avatar, he has 390 health points right now. And then on the far right side, you'll see perks, but underneath that, it's not lit up yet. And that's because he doesn't get his first perk until he's level 10. And then it's a random perk. And that perk will give him buffs in any one of the attributes. And then at level 15, he gets another one. And at level 20, he gets one. This is why you want to level a Thrall up to level 20 if you can, because those perks are awesome for him. Yeah, you'll get a really good Thrall that way. And then the next one we want to take a look at is behavior. Now, tactics, you can tell him to stand and defend. You can tell him to prioritize range, which means he'll use his bow before he uses his sword. And this is prioritize melee, which is what I want him to do, because he's not going to use a bow at all. I'm just going to have the sword on him. And then the next thing is follow distance. How closely do you want him to follow? I want him to follow me at least only 10 meters away. I don't want him to stray too far. I want him to stay pretty close to me. And then again, under behavior is engagement. Now, you want him to attack all enemies. You can do that. If you want to set his attack distance, which I do, I don't want him to attack anything further than 15 meters away. That's helpful if you're in a place where you don't want him to run off and attack something that's too far away from you. Yeah. And then chase distance. How far do you want him to chase the enemy? And I don't want him to chase any further than 15 either. Whoops. And then attack nothing is very helpful if you're going into an area where like these green shellbacks won't attack you, and you don't want him to start something either. So just put him on attack nothing. It's also good in Supermaru, where it's a town and people don't bother you if you don't bother them. Gardening is very helpful in that he will not attack anyone until you do. And the minute you attack someone, he'll jump right in there and help you. Otherwise, he won't. And the same with guard area. So all of those features are awesome for him. Now, the other thing that he'll do is if you're over here and I press down on my square button. Oh, I have to tell him to follow me first. He doesn't do this unless I tell him to follow me. So we've got him following me. And now I can tell him to move where I'm pointing. So he will move over there for me. He will also return to me. Now he's not far enough away to actually return to me, but if he's way over there fighting and I want him to come to me because he's losing health way too fast, I can tell him to return to me. I can tell him to attack something. So if I'm pointing my cursor at an enemy, I can tell him to go attack it, and he will. We don't have one in front of us. Then I can tell him to stop. So whatever he's doing, if I want him to stop, I can tell him to do so. So yeah, let's take him out now once he's following us here. And I was going to go over here, but I think there is a demonic over there. And I think he is a bit much for this thrall. Yeah, so that is. We're not going to go over there right now. We're instead going to go across the water here to these. Now, you never want to put your thrall in a situation where he's going to lose health really fast and you could lose him. You don't want to do that. Now, here he comes. Now, these guys are, like I said, pretty aggressive. Now, I'm going to get my sword and shield out because I may have to help him with this many, but they're going to be pretty aggroed on me. And this is a tactic I like to use sometimes with my thrall, is if I hold my shield up and protect myself, he has an opportunity to keep wailing away at the enemy while I've got their attention. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to come between those. Now, he leveled up. Now, he's taken a little bit of damage here, so I want to keep my eye on him. If he loses too much health from this, I'll want to jump in there and help him. But he does gain experience points for any kill that I do or any kill that he does while he's following me, which is really nice. So he's taken some damage here. So let's take a look at him. I can get onto him here. There we go. He's already healed up, but as you can see, he used quite a bit of that gruel to heal himself. So every time he takes damage, he's going to heal himself with gruel. So you want to make sure you always have enough on him. If I know I'm going to be out and in battle quite a bit, I'll put at least 200 gruel on my thrall to make sure that they have plenty to heal themselves with. Now, he's gained up to a level 2 now, and he has now got a health pool of 602. And that's quite a jump from what he was. So, yeah, he's already gotten stronger. So let's see how he's gained, if any, in his stats. Now, he's already gained 1 in his strength, which is really, that's quite awesome. And he has gained 7 in his survival. And he gained agility, 2 in vitality, and accuracy. So that's awesome. Now, as you can see right now, he hasn't, he doesn't have his 14% from the gruel. So I don't know if I have enough on him, but I should give him some more gruel, and he will gain that back in there. So yeah, awesome. So we're gonna have him follow us back. And we're going to skip over and we're going to check on our other thrall just to see how far he has come. Oh, Mr. Alligator may or may not follow us all this way. I don't know. We may have to fight him. Yeah, he is going to follow us. Okay. Now, see, he immediately is going to attack this alligator. And like I said, I will defend myself so he can attack the alligator from behind. Now, once the alligator turns on him, I don't want him getting too damaged because he's... Although he did really well, though. He didn't take much damage from that, if at all. Yeah. So he only used 1 gruel. So that's awesome. Yeah. So you want to take him around to all these shalebacks to level him up. And here is our thrall. Let's see how he's doing here. Okay. Now if you look on the right hand side, on the bottom, the crafting cache, there he is. being tamed, and as you could see, that white bar has filled up a little bit, so we have quite a ways to go still before he is done. But once he's done, you will see that the wheel of pain here no longer is spinning around and he's not on there. So you can just click on him and take him. If I try to take him right now with the R2, it'll warn me. It says moving an unconverted thrall will destroy it. So you don't want to take him now or you will lose him. So I want to say, no, I don't want to take him out. And yeah, just let him continue to be tamed. And oh yeah, oh my goodness, we can't forget this part. Yeah, you can track your followers. Yes, yes. If I click on this, you can see it says Duke, Fighter, Following, and then level 2. Now I can check his stats no matter where he is in the world. If I've lost him, I don't know where he is, or if I've died and I want to see how he's doing in battle, all I have to do is pull that up, and it tells me that he is 602 health and he's fine. Yeah. And then if I click on this again, I can rescue him no matter where he is. But if I do that, he will lose everything. He'll lose his sword, his armor, his food, everything. He will come back to me with nothing. But at least I will have saved him. If I want to break bond with him, then I've set him free. He just disappears. So also, if you hit your triangle button, once I get out of that, you'll see that little eye will light up on the extreme right hand side of this bar. Once that is lit up, I can track him on the map. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see his icon because we are standing together, but yeah, you can a little bit. You can see when I'm enlarging it, you can see his icon there. But what I'll do is I'll tell him to stop following me, and yeah, we'll go up the beach here a ways and it will show you. Because I want you to see this. This is very important if you want to find a lost thrall or pet. It works with either or. This whole follower list works for pets as well as your thralls. So there you see his icon right there. So now you know where he is. Yeah. And you can either go get him, or you can rescue him, depending on if he's got really good armor on him or legendary weapons. Then you might want to go after him and not just rescue him. So yeah, so scrolling back to the followers list here, if I click the triangle button again, it will stop tracking him, and you'll see he no longer shows up on the map. And that's handy if you only want to track one certain thrall and not all of them. So yeah, follower management, very, very handy. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't forget that, because that's really important feature of the thralls if you need to find them. And pets, that works for pets again as well. So all right guys, I think I finally got it without missing anything. So yeah, if you found it helpful, give me the big old like, and if you'd like to see more, just subscribe. And if you hit the little bell, you'll be notified when I post my next video. So yeah, all right guys, until next time, GG out.